According to statistics from the 2013 Nigeria Demographic and Health Survey, women are disadvantaged compared to men in terms of both education and earnings, which are factors that greatly influence the health of women and children. This week's edition of the programme looks at the plight of the Nigerian woman. Hello there and welcome to the programme. I'm Yemisi Ipaye. All over the world, women contribute to social, economic, cultural and political achievements. However, in Nigeria, many women are still relegated to the background when it comes to national issues. This can mainly be attributed to sentiments and traditional beliefs. As the world marks the 2016 International Women's Day, my guest on this week's edition of the programme talks about women's rights. But up ahead, the federal government plans to launch a national campaign to end child marriage. Take a listen. The story of Ese Aruru has fueled both empathy and criticism of the way the girl child is treated in Nigeria. And it further brings into the spotlight the question of child marriage. This meeting, which is held by the Ministry of Women Affairs, is aimed at educating those responsible for child protection across the Federation.
The desire to accelerate all-round development of the girl child has become a critical area of concern, particularly in developing countries like ours. The persistent problem of gender inequality and violence against the girl child has become a matter of global concern and indeed of national concern. The age at which girls are married off has improved in some countries, but Africa has the second highest rate of child marriage in the world after South Asia. In West and Central Africa in particular, girls are married off during childhood or adolescence before the acceptable age of 18 as specified in the Child Rights Act of 2003. And while this could have been an act of preservation in the past, historically and traditionally, this was perceived as preserving the welfare and the well-being of the child. But in contemporary times, it is contrary to the law and it is not in the best interest of the child. Child marriage is inimical to the wholesome development of the girl child. She is robbed of her childhood as she is compelled to assume roles of a mother and housekeeper at a tender age when she is not physically and emotionally mature enough to handle a mother's responsibilities.
Deliberations at this meeting focused on how to work with key players in ensuring that the rights of the girl child are not violated, especially as statistics from the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development shows that Nigeria has a high prevalence of child marriage, with the northeastern region having the highest rate at 76%.
There is no doubt that governments and other stakeholders have in recent times committed much efforts and resources in addressing concerns of the girl child. However, it is worrisome to say that a lot is yet to be done in this area. Let us, as child rights protectors and advocates, look at innovation and sustainable ideas that will transform the current efforts at improving the plight and dignity of girls so that they can contribute to the national development. The AU launched in 2014 of campaign to end child marriage in Africa by the year 2030 is another awakening to the need to protect the rights of the girl child in the continent. Nigeria at the national level is preparing to launch SIM before the end of 2016 to sensitize the populace on the negative consequences of early child or forced marriage and to protect the girl child in this country.
While early child marriage exposes the girl child to diseases, school dropouts and population explosion, Health experts believe it also causes Nigeria a huge economic burden.
We're working through the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, and so we are also creating centers and creating synergies between law enforcement agencies. We're also putting up the projects that we are currently implementing that also propagate education. We feel that education is a tool that can be used to fight many of these issues. And so my organization is working very seriously on educational projects and also on setting up signages between law enforcement agencies and, of course, the fulcrum, which is the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, and also setting up databases that will track these issues across the country so that we have one system in which everything is reported and everything is tracked, and we as a country can speak to this issue very intelligently.
Every Nigerian has a role in protecting the girl child. One key decision taken at this meeting is that cases of early marriage must be reported and culprits appropriately sanctioned to serve as a deterrent to others.